Check it out. This your boy, Dr. Christopher J. Childs, your favorite teacher. Track 4 on the mixtape series. I truly appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. On this track, we are focused on why do students need multiple submission options? Right now, we're in this phase of back to school. Let's online learning, in-person learning, a hybrid, etc. But we're not thinking about and talking about what are some ways students should be able to submit their assignments. You all like, dang, I haven't thought about that. Let's talk about it. As always, due to my, my Esquire friends. Is it Esquire? ESQ? To my Esquire friends, my lawyers. This is my shout out to them and then everybody else. My statements and opinions are my own. Got that out the way. All right, let's get it going. Here's the goal for this mixtape track. Remember, the tracks need to be clear. They need to be succinct. And they need to be short. That's my goal for this one. You all have been getting, like, when you think about a song that keeps going, that's what you all have been getting. This is going to be that short, sweet, to the point song. Here we go. Or mixtape or track. You know what I mean. Learn the importance of offering students multiple assignment options. That's our learning goal. Everything has a goal. You're in my class. This is like my classroom. We're getting ready for back to school. A lot of districts are finally coming to life and saying, hey, we probably can't go back to face right now in brick and mortar because the numbers are skyrocketing. Wow. Like, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure that out. But, I digress. Everyone says move forward, stop focusing on the negative. So most people are realizing we're going to do digital learning, which is great, or remote learning. But we need to consider how our students are going to submit their assignments. First, let's look at the data. Question. Is it data or is it data? I'm curious. Do you pronounce it data or data? Like, when you watch this video, comment and tell me I pronounce it data or I pronounce it data. I'm just curious. I personally, when I'm being, professional and trying to sound astute, I like to talk about the data. But when I'm just having a friendly conversation, I talk about the data. So is it data or is it data? Hit me in the comments. Let me know. I'm just curious. Data. I don't know. Here's the data. Here's the data. Now I'm saying dada and not, I'm just saying data. Just because I want to say dada, then everyone says, well, look at Dr. Childs. I'm going to say data. Couple quick pieces of information. 16.9 million. I just like that number. You see this number? 16.9 million students, according to a report from Future Ready Schools, lack home internet access. That's a lot of kids. 16.9 million lack home internet access. 3.6 million, another big number, households lack a computer. Think about 3.6 million households, not students. The previous data point was students. This data point is households. And there are possibly more than one child per household. Think about how many students lack just a computer. You're watching this on some technology device, and a lot of you are watching on a computer. 3.6 million households don't even have that. And I believe that data point, see, I said data, I say data, I go back and forth. I believe with that data point, it's just based upon school age. It's not just across the spectrum of the population of the United States. We're just focused on school age children. Another data point, 25% of students in 15 states lack home internet access. 15 states, 25% of the students lack home internet access. 25%, that's 1 in 4 students. Think about if you have a class of 20 students, you're going to do the math. If you have a class of 20 students and you're in one of these 15 states, how many probably don't have internet access? But, everybody getting ready for this back to school, this digital. We got a new digital platform. We got this new digital program offering. Half your kids can't even do it. But that's going to come up later. Do we even care? They go to those crickets again. Gosh, they go to those crickets. And, we love to talk about, Chris, we've given out these Wi-Fi hotspots. We're going to give them computers. There's some people that live off the grid. Just think about it. And Chris, those are the outliers. We got to look at the major piece. But here's my thing. Too long we keep looking at that major piece of that middle ground and leaving out the outliers, and they continue to fall behind. And why is it? I'm just curious. Anytime we talk about giving out devices, we use a bunch of code words to describe those students. Our urban students, our Title I students, those students. And it's typically a picture that looks like this kid right here. I'm pausing. I'm pausing my mixtape to give you a KC rant. Why do we use those terms to, specific language, minority? I'm just, as I come to me, I'm throwing them out there to describe a certain segment and population of students. Why? Why, when it comes to certain things that we do, we all of a sudden have all the answers and point to students like this? Think about it for a minute. Some people do it purposefully. Some people do it, unconsciously. But now I'm bringing it to your attention. You should start thinking about it. You want to burn me up? When you start talking about interventions, all of a sudden I see a bunch of images and I hear the code words for Black and brown students. When it comes to not having access, I hear all the code words for Black and brown students. And you know what they are. You know the code words. Start thinking about it. Some of the code words. Why am I bringing this up? We cannot keep positing our Black and brown students in negative lights. Especially, how often do we talk about the brilliance of Black and brown students? There go those crickets again. There are some brilliant Black and brown students. There are some rich Black and brown students. But do we hear about them, especially in the media? You rarely hear about them in the media. You rarely see them written about in books. Those are purposeful narratives. We always highlight the dominant group in this euphoric light, or this nice light. But when it comes to Black and brown people and students, how do we highlight them? Do we build and talk about that brilliance, or do we quickly look at it from a deficit lens? Asset-based approach for all students. Well, Chris, you don't know my students in my environment. Da, da. Do you believe in your students? That's the question I have. Do you believe in their brilliance? Do you have an asset-based approach? Listen, start thinking about what messaging are you sending to your students and what messaging are you sending to your community. We can't keep trying to get this stereotypical stuff. Well, Chris, you look at the data, those are the students. Well, show me some data points of what students doing excellent things. Show me some of that data also. If you're going to show me this, when I look at your high performance stuff, I bet, even if it's just one student, I better see that one student on every flyer you have. All right. As we consider technology access, the next piece is a lot of places, we got these Wi-Fi buses that go around. Come on, man. If I need to get on a hotspot, the Wi-Fi bus, or go in the parking lot, think about the limitations of me engaging. I got to get to that point first also. Here are 4 submission options plus 1. Meaning, if I give an assignment, these are 4 different ways plus 1 that students can submit it. Are you back with me? All right. Because a lot of you, you get ready to get in the comment. Come on. I stay ready. That's what I do. All right, get back on the mixtape. Short, sweet, to the point. First, if I've given an assignment to students, I give them 4 different options plus 1. The first option, I don't want to say the first option. It's just the first option of strategy. All right, you know what I mean. Keep going. Email. Allow students, if they have access to email, they can email their assignments in. They can take a picture of it, upload it, and email it. They can scan it. If they have access to email, I allow them to email the assignment to me. Another option, if they have access to a smartphone or the parent, they can take a picture of the task they're working on. Some people do it on their phone and they can text it to me. I've created a text number just for assignments, and I do not use it two-way. Teachers, be smart. Be smart. A lot of teachers, get called up every year. Allow them to send you messages through it. Don't respond. You can respond through your traditional platforms, but that's just a CYA for you all. But I have a text number that allows them to submit things. I've done this in real time where I give a task to students And then in real time, they can submit it via email or they can submit it via text. And we have a discussion. And if they submit it via text, I save it and pop it up on the screen. It's anonymous. And we have some great discussions. So tip number 1, email. 2, set up a text message number where students can text in their information. Some are saying, well, Chris, if they have the smartphone, they have the email, they can do what we traditionally do. Sometimes you can't. We're going to talk about it in a minute. Stop thinking just because they have these things, they can submit it in whatever form you want. We need to be a little bit more flexible. The third one, a landline phone. You're like, Chris, what do you mean a landline? If a student does not have access to internet, they don't have access to the Wi-Fi hotspots that we send out. If they have access to a landline phone, when you provide them with the task, I'll show you how they're going to get the task if they only have a landline. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Calm down. Stop being negative. Asset-based approach. If they have access to a landline phone, I contact them via phone. They have the assignment. I tell you how they can get the assignment. And they just tell me about their problem solving process. I'm not giving them 50 tasks to go over on the phone. Just one task, tell me about your problem solving process. In the exemplar videos, you'll see what I mean. Thinking, how do we reach all of our students? Another assignment submission option. Some districts, I thought this was good because we have to consider when you're doing this remote learning, distance learning, whatever your district calls it, so many terms. What about the personnel that are not just in front of students directly, your teachers? It could be custodians. It could be paraprofessionals. How are they utilizing them during these times? They're having the bus drivers deliver either to homes or to certain locations student materials, and then they pick them back up. Again, they're using safety precautions, but that is another way to make sure students all have access. Again, 4 quick strategies and things you can do to allow students to submit the same assignment. And you're not giving them different, you get a different assignment because you don't have it. No, everybody gets the same assignment. Access and equity. All right, I'm going to my access and equity rant, not today. Email, text messaging, landline phone, and then hard copy delivery and pickup. Some schools are going to have it at their schoolhouse. Again, if you keep it simple, rich tasks, 1 or 2, you can do this. If you're the teacher, I give them 50 homework problems. Man, ain't nobody doing that crap. I'm letting you know now. Nobody's doing 50 homework problems. Get that crap out your mind. Oh, I said 4 tips plus 1. Here's my bonus tip. Because I was doing this recently in a workshop and I gave those 4 strategies and everybody's thinking like, all right, what if they do have these things? Do we still have like the software and program? You can use, I put learning management system, but if you have some software or math program that you use that can automatically grade or submit things, still use that. That's an option. I just want us to have multiple submission options so we can reach every student, not just some students, not just the privileged students. Every student can engage in math at a high level. And you need to be flexible. You need to be flexible. This is a slinky. I know some of you youngsters are like, what the heck is this? I need to go ask my grandmother or great grandmother what. This is a slinky. This is a toy. It's just representing being flexible in this process. We cannot during these times be so stringent and in the rules, and they loosen up. Like all these rules and all that. This is my thing. I can say all that crap we're doing. Guess what? Look at the data. Most of it hasn't been working. So this is the perfect time to try something new. All right, homework. Survey your parents. Survey your parents to see what are some ideal submission options for them. But also when you survey them, help educate them. Some parents honestly don't know. Everyone's complaining about parents don't do this. They haven't done this and this learning. A lot of them don't know. And then streamline, this just came to me. Streamline submission, what do I mean? Especially if you're all grade levels, not even just elementary. Be consistent across the school of like how people submitting stuff. Think about it. As a parent, your kid has a couple subjects. Let's say 4. It's more than 4. I know some of your questions. I'm just saying 4 because that came to my head and it's quick. Let's say you have 4 different subjects. I, as a parent, have to figure out 4 different ways my kid, 4 different classes and 4 different ways to submit. Except streamline some of this stuff. Streamline communication. That's in the parent video. We'll talk about it. But you all, I'm saying you all teachers, you all have to come together and streamline some. It's ridiculous some of the ways you got to use Flipgrid, then you got to use Nearpod, then you got to look, keep it simple. Gosh, man. All right, no more rants. Question of the day. How will you reach that student? You know, that student. You know what I mean when I say how you're going to reach that student? You know, you have this plan, Chris, and we're going to push it on our learning management. Students have access to it. But you know there's one student that has no way to reach it. Are you going to discount him or her, or are you going to actually reach him? There go them crickets. All right, I'm leaving on this video because I'm hearing these crickets, but provide students multiple submission options. Less is more. When we get to the exemplar videos, you're going to see what I mean. But if you give, oh my gosh, here's the 50 things to do and some, hey, come on now, come on. We got to be smart. Spring, everybody's like, you know, people was last minute. I give you all that, but spring was kind of a disaster. Let's admit it. We can make fall better, or we can have disaster part 2. I'm just saying. Sometimes you got to call it like it is. All right, this is your boy, Dr. Christopher J. Childs, track number 4. Why do students need multiple submission options? You got to give them some variety. You figure out the variety, work with your parents, work with your students, and be flexible. Put this link here up. All right, I'm out.